Hello, and welcome to today's video on understanding and identifying manipulation tactics. Manipulation is often subtle, yet its impact can be profound, leaving you feeling confused, obligated, or even doubting yourself. Learning to recognize these tactics is the first step to setting healthy boundaries and maintaining your peace of mind. In this video, I'll share with you 3 common manipulative strategies used by people to control or influence others, and how you can spot the red flags. Let's start. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when someone says, "After everything I've done for you"? Imagine this scenario. A friend constantly reminds you of all the favors they've done for you in the past. Now, they're asking for your help with their latest project, which you don't have the time or energy for, but you feel obligated to say yes. It can even be them asking for money to help them. This is the guilt trip, one of the most common manipulation tactics. By making you feel responsible for their emotions or actions, they subtly pressure you into compliance. The key to spotting this tactic is recognizing when someone's request is tied to a narrative of guilt, rather than mutual respect or understanding. Now let's talk about the poor me play. This is when someone exaggerates their struggles to pull at your heartstrings. Imagine a person who constantly complains about how hard life is for them. They might say things like, "No one understands how difficult this is for me," or "I can't do this alone." Their aim? To make you feel so sympathetic that you bend over backward to help them, even at your own expense. While empathy is a wonderful trait, it's important to ask yourself, are their needs reasonable, or are they taking advantage of my kindness? Now, let's pause for a moment to talk about the difference between empathy, sympathy, and pity, and why it matters in situations like the poor me play. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and knowing how to respond when someone seems to be manipulating your emotions. Empathy is about truly understanding and sharing someone else's feelings. It's like stepping into their shoes and experiencing their emotions as if they were your own. For example, if a friend is going through a difficult time, empathy allows you to connect deeply, showing them you genuinely care and understand their perspective. In relationships, empathy builds trust and strengthens emotional bonds. Sympathy, on the other hand, is feeling compassion or concern for someone's situation, but from a distance. You recognize their pain, but you don't feel it in the same way they do. For instance, you might say, "I'm sorry you're going through this," which shows kindness, but doesn't create the same level of connection as empathy. Sympathy can still be helpful, but it's less personal and intimate. Now, pity is different and often problematic. Pity involves feeling sorry for someone, but in a way that can come across as condescending or superior. It might sound like, "Oh, you poor thing, how do you even manage?" While it may seem caring on the surface, pity can make the other person feel small, powerless, or even resentful. So, what does this mean for relationships? Empathy fosters mutual respect, understanding, and deeper emotional connections. It does not mean you are the hero and should step in to solve their problems. Sympathy can be kind, but it may not be enough to address someone's deeper emotional needs. Feeling sorry for them and possibly guilty that you have it better should not drive you to give them things just because it will make you feel better. You will end up resenting them. As for pity, it risks creating an unhealthy dynamic where they could feel diminished, which can harm the relationship over time. In the context of manipulation, It's important to aim for empathy without letting someone take advantage of your kindness. Ask yourself, am I responding with genuine care, or am I being pulled into their narrative in a way that makes me feel drained or obligated? Recognizing this distinction helps you maintain healthy boundaries while still offering support in a way that empowers both you and the other person. Either way, watch for this red flag when the complaints seem excessive or one-sided. Finally, let's discuss the blame shift tactic. Picture this. A co-worker messes up on an important task, but insists it's your fault because you didn't communicate clearly. This is classic deflection. It can also be termed gaslighting when specific to relationship dynamics. Instead of taking responsibility for their actions, they redirect the blame onto you, making you feel at fault for their mistakes. This tactic can leave you questioning your abilities and second-guessing your actions. The best way to spot this manipulation is to reflect on the situation objectively. Did you really contribute to the problem? Or are they using you as a scapegoat to avoid accountability? Manipulation is often disguised in everyday interactions, but with awareness, you can learn to identify these tactics and protect yourself from their influence. Remember, it's okay to say no, set boundaries, and demand mutual respect in your relationships. Thank you for watching this video on how to identify common manipulator tactics. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on self-empowerment and personal growth. Stay strong, stay self-aware, and see you in the next video.